Hi there. This is Gregaro McCool, the voice of County Fence Biannual magazine, coming to you from deep in the wilderness of eastern Ontario, for those who prefer an oral tradition to a written one. The stories you're about to hear were released to our print subscribers in real time, but we'll be releasing one story from the past 2 years on the first and third Thursdays of each month at 10 p.m., free for our new digital audience. Like, subscribe, leave positive reviews, and all that jazz to help bring Eastern Ontario's oldest and most prestigious boundary and fencing publication to a global audience. It's February 6th, 2025, and today I am reading our first piece from Napanee correspondent Brenda Hogg. Brenda grew up in Napanee, Ontario, and has been fiercely loyal to her hometown ever since. Coincidentally, Napanee is also the hometown of Avril Lavigne. According to Brenda, the number one reason why Greater Napanee is, in fact, greater. Our municipal slogan is Greater Napanee, greater for many reasons. And the number one reason is my girl Avril. Yay! In 2002, she released her first album, Let Go, at the age of just 17. She went on to be a global smash success, putting Greater Napanee on the map. Avril has sold 40 million albums, which is 5 times more than that band from Kingston. Bryan Adams has sold twice as many albums worldwide, but he has had twice as much time, even though he doesn't look like it. Ha ha! Look out, Bryan, my girl is coming for you. Something you may not know about Avril is that she was a country music and Christian singer first. I used to see her singing Garth Brooks songs and songs from church all over our fair community. She was raised in a very Christian family of musicians, and so she worked very hard. Instead of going out on weekends, she would stay home and practice. Some people say that is because she had strict parents, or that there was not much to do in Napanee. I know it was actually because she was a very hard-working girl. Avril originally apprenticed with celebrity folk singer Stephen Med and sang like an angel. Unfortunately, country and folk music needs more cultural education than our schools provide, and Avril was headed for the top. Avril had to take a more mainstream approach. Being such a smart, community-minded girl meant she knew that this was a good business decision that would put Napanee on the map. This strategy worked very well because in 2003, a boy from Buenos Aires contacted Mayor David Remington to arrange a visit to Napanee. What do you know? He actually came. Today, YouTube is full of videos with video loggers flocking to our fair town to see where this daughter of the land grew up. This is despite a 2003, quote, Globe and Mail, quote, article by Gail MacDonald claiming that Napanee only had 2 stoplights. Today, Napanee has at least 8. Exact figures for 2003 are hard to find, but we definitely had more than 2. Perhaps if she can draw enough tourists to Napanee, she can finally produce a gospel album like she has always wanted to. Avril has had her time on the wild side like many of us do. Just like the Amish do, we all go a little crazy when we are teenagers, and that is okay. But let's be honest too, some of it is showmanship. I remember when Avril was just a shy young girl and I would talk to her around town. Even talking to people like me, her eyes would get big and she would not say anything. But I would comfort her and tell her that I heard her singing at the fair and that she had a beautiful voice, like an angel. Rock stars have to have a stage persona, but at the end of the day, we all have to go home and vacuum the floor like everyone else. She may say she's just a skater girl, but we know that she's just a girl like the rest of us. And maybe now that she has released that Christian song, she can return to her roots. Maybe she can even move into one of those mansions on the Napanee River. When I was growing up, we had Bryan Adams. I remember driving through town, blaring Summer of '69 from my boyfriend Dwayne's Jeep. When you're a young girl, it's important to have a rebel to show you who you could be. My parents listened to the Weavers and Loretta Lynn, so conformist. I needed to break out of that boring culture and be me. Bryan did that for me. And you know, you don't have to lose your wild streak. Even if we do eventually have to settle down, we can hold on to a couple of our wilder ideas. In 2012, CBC Radio reported that Napanee was considering either an Avril Lavigne statue or a John A. MacDonald statue, and the debate is ongoing. In the days of renaming schools and toppling statues, I would argue that an Avril Lavigne statue is much better for public safety. After all, he only lived in Napanee for 2 years, and Avril lived here for 16.